Hello everyone, I'm Tuco and welcome back to another episode of the Structure Showcase series. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, and today we will be taking a look at the Dwarven faction. Now the Dwarven faction can be found in the Iron Hills, exclusively the Iron Hills, nowhere else, because they were all exiled from the Grey Mountains, as known in the lore of Lord of the Rings. And they are a different faction from the blue Dwarven faction, which I've already done a video for that. The blocks are different. They're a darker tone than the blue Dwarven faction. They're like a green, kind of gray. If they have a little green in there, I don't know. I've always seen like a hint of green in them. Anyway, this is the first structure of the Dwarven faction, and it is the mine entrance. Now, the mine entrance is actually a very nice looking mine entrance. I really like the use of the fences across the top and the sides as like some support, and then of course, one of my favorite blocks, the Dwarven glowing block. Oh my goodness, it's wonderful to use in builds. Absolutely love it. It's like glowstone, except you can actually make it look even nicer than glowstone in some cases, especially with the Dwarven builds. Anyway, so down here in the mine, you have a massive ladder going all the way down. Sometimes they can be even longer if these are built on mountains. They can be even higher. And down here, you'll find just the Dwarven forges, 3 Dwarven forges. And out this way will be a huge, literally a massive Dwarven mine that stretches on for chunks that way, chunks that way, chunks that way, and even down too. There's so many layers and so much loot to be had in these mines. It is quite insane, and if you find one, it's the best place to mine. Also, the Iron Hills has obviously a higher chance or more iron in it. It also has glowstone in here too. Like all the ores, there's more of them than anywhere else, except for Mithril, of course, which can only be found in the Misty Mountains. And then next we have, I'd probably say one of the saddest builds of the dwarves, the Dwarven Tower. This is the plainest looking building I have ever seen in the Lord of the Rings. It's literally just like a hunk of a block of stone. That's literally all this is. I really think that they needed, or Mevins, the maker of the Dwarf, or of the Lord of the Rings mod, he really needs to redo the Dwarven Tower. Add some detail to this. Look at this. This is just blank, and then here, a little detail, but it's not the nicest looking thing in the world. Anyway, so you also get these Dwarven banners, which honestly I really do like the dwarf banners. This is awesome. You got a throne there, you got an anvil and a hammer, 7 stars. It's quite nice. Anyway, so going inside, the floor here can be any sort of wood found in the Iron Hills. So it can be spruce, it can be beech, or there's another one, I can't remember what it is. It might be oak. I don't think it's oak wood though. It's some other wood. Anyway, so in here you'll find a lot of Dwarven warriors, as you can see, and also, of course, tons upon tons of Dwarven ale. This place is filled with Dwarven ale. So these places are really good to find loot, especially Dwarven crafting tables as well. However, it's not a very nice looking build. But if you do find one and you do want to make it your home, it's a very nice place to make it a home because of all the levels of, let's count here. That was 1, 2, 3, and then we go up further. That's 4, that's 5 levels, that's 6 and 7. 8 levels to this, and each one is, I'd probably say around about 9 to 10 blocks wide. It's a really nice build, or a lot of potential, I should say, in this build. That you can find here. Also, you got, again, some really nice loot. And, of course, you have the commander who you can hire troops from and whatnot. But, yeah, if you were going to make this your home, I definitely suggest sprucing it up with adding, like, some staircases here, and, just making it look a lot better. A lot more detailed, like, actual Dwarven detail. Because I mean, just look at this. This is like it's like a blank slate. But that's good about it. You know, it's a blank slate. You can do anything you want with it. It's great. Anyway, so on to one of the hardest, well, I shouldn't say it's the hardest place to find. Actually, these places are pretty easy to find, the Dwarven House. The reason why I say that is because usually you'll have like a platform where the door is 3 wide that comes all the way out like this far. And you can usually see them in the day. They're pretty easy to find. But at night, the door glows because it's, of course, a dwarven door made out of stone. And that's pretty cool. Very nice to hide stuff, but at night, it sticks out like a sore thumb. It really does. So in here, we actually have a lot more detail than that Dwarven Tower. We have some nice stairs going across here. We got a roaring fire, absolutely roaring. You know, some nice chandeliers. I mean, look at those. Those are very nice. And, of course, tons of food. And then this stuff. This stuff is one of the reasons why you're going to be here. Oh, I just destroyed it. Oh, well. Anyway, that was, what's it called? I forget what it's called now. Let me see if there's any in here. Ah, there we go. Dwarven Tonic is what it is. Dwarven Tonic. Now, Dwarven Tonic is incredibly special because what Dwarven Tonic can do, it gives you night vision. For however long you brew it for, you know, the stronger it is, the more night vision. And in order to brew it, you're going to need some mithril to get it. But oftentimes, you can find it in these houses like I did just there. And you can loot these things quite nice. Also, there's a substantial amount of food in here. So you're not going hungry in the Iron Hills anytime soon. Because these places are pretty common to find. Usually you find a man and a wife, you know, in here living. Sometimes you'll find children too. And then, of course, some Dalish stuff. Because they trade with Dale so much. Some more iron stuff, and then just some general things, as well as the beds. I love the mine, or I love the pickaxe. That looks awesome. So yeah, that is the Dwarven House. I really do enjoy this house. It's one of my favorites, honestly. Again, mainly because I really just like dwarves in general, or the Dwarven faction. Anyway, so on to the next structure. Now, I've never seen this actually spawn. It might be new. I don't know. I've never seen this actually spawn in the world, but it is a dwarven. It's a broken down or a ruined and abandoned mine. And down here you can find the exact same stuff, and also there's like a mine going that way too. But as you can see, it's all destroyed and cluttered and cracked stone everywhere. I mean, they did a nice job ruining this place. And then the next build is a very small build in comparison to all these towers and stuff. It is the Dwarven Smithy. Now, these things are very common to find in the Iron Hills. Fairly easy to spot. Well, it's incredibly easy to spot. It's above ground. And then anyway, coming in here, you got like a nice little gate there. And of course, you can find the blacksmith here with his nice hammer chiseling and hammering away at stuff. Some nice loot in here as well. And of course, the unsmeltery, the anvil, a dwarven crafting table, and just a normal crafting table. And of course, the forge here, and some lava in the back too, which is kind of nice. But this one, in comparison, like all the other smitheries that I've looked at so far in the Structure Showcase series, it's one of the smallest, and honestly, one of the more puny and kind of pitiful ones. However, I do like this little chimney right here. It's honestly a very nice chimney. I do quite like that. Now, on to the last and final build of the Dwarf faction is the Ruined Tower. Now, this one actually has more detail than the other one, as you can see. You know, it's got cracked walls. It's, you know, kind of missing some stuff. It's jagged. And you come in here. I mean, this place is completely empty. There's nothing in here. Well, actually, I take that back. I didn't know that. Ooh, Dwarven marriage ring. Yeah, so in here, apparently, there is still some stuff left behind by the dwarves who abandoned this for whatever reason. However, you will not find any, like, torches going or any dwarves whatsoever in here because it's obviously abandoned. And again, this is a nice place where you could probably set up post. I mean, maybe even if you're, like, an orc faction or you're with the orcs or something like that. You're allied to them. You could set up shop in here with like the Gundabag orcs. Make this like your base or something like that. Keep the ruined look to it. You know, maybe add some more detail, some more like Gundabag orc sort of looking stuff. Had some banners at the front, and it looked real nice. But yeah, so that does it for the Dwarven faction. Not too many builds to go through. A few kind of meh kind of builds, you know. But I do like the blocks. The blocks are very nice looking. I really like the iron bars. Those look amazing. The Dwarven iron bars, absolutely incredible. Love the chandeliers too. Those are pretty fantastic. And again, the blocks, the pillars, they're all really great blocks. But just how they have them here in the towers, kind of lacking on the side of detail, which if you know me, I love detail. I go all out. I add all kinds of stairs and walls and half slabs all over my builds to make it look as detailed and kind of as cluttered as possible. But yeah, so that does it for this faction today. I thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something about me not liking blank walls. Like, why is it so blank? Maybe even add some windows. Anyway, guys, God bless, and I'll see you next time.